Before you watch this video, there's a link in the description which talks in detail about the introduction of Ulka and what are the features available in the public links, meaning what you can actually access without logging in. We also have a separate video on how to submit datasets to the Ulka system. In this video, we will see the process of contributing a model to Ulka. From the introduction video, we might have understood the meaning of a model and the purpose of model benchmarking. One important thing to note here, models are not actually hosted in the Ulka system. Rather, it makes the models which are already hosted in any environment to be discovered and inferred via Ulka. Now let's jump in. We have to navigate to the Model tab and then select Submit Model. The system accepts a name which is user defined, but make sure it's meaningful. Then we have to upload a JSON containing the details of a model, including the inference endpoint. Before we actually submit a model, we will quickly walk through the contents of this JSON file. The contract of the model submission is available in Ulka GitHub page under the specs folder. Now let's jump to the Swagger view of the contract. Most of the fields might overlap with the ones that we already saw during the dataset submission. We will quickly go through the list of fields. Again, whatever is marked with a red star indicate that it's a mandatory field. Coming back to the fields now. Name denote a meaningful name for the model to be submitted. Version field helps to track the incremental updates to a model. Description field gives a brief information about the model and its goals. Next is the ref URL, which is either the GitHub link or the URL giving further information about the model. The task denotes the category of model under which it has been released or trained. For example, a model could be built for translation or ASR. Languages field specifies the source and the target languages for a model. In case of some task types like OCR and ASR, target language might not be relevant and should be ignored. License, domain, and submitter are self-explanatory. Now, coming to the inference endpoint. This is a critical object which specifies the callback URL and the schema of the request response for the inference. The callback URL is the actual URL where the model is hosted and can be used for model inference. Then, based on the task type, the inference schema is defined. I guess this is much easier to understand with an example. Now, let's jump into the GitHub link that contains the samples for the model submission JSONs. Now, we are looking at the translation model built for Bengali to English. A proper name, version, description, ref URL, task type, languages, license, domain, and submitter are specified here. Now, under inference endpoint, we see that the callback URL is specified. Before submitting the model, make sure this URL is tested with Postman for appropriate request and response. One more thing to note. The request and response are validated during the model submission. The submission succeeds only if the endpoint is reachable and can successfully respond to the specified sample input. The last is the training dataset object, wherein we can specify what kind of dataset we have used for training the model. If the training dataset was used from Ulka, feel free to mention that in the dataset ID field. Now that we have seen the contents of the JSON, let's go ahead and submit it. Let us consider a meaningful name and upload a respective JSON file. Once you submit, a service request number is generated and it's a async process. The status would be updated under the My Contribution section. It would initially be in the unpublished stage. We can either run a benchmark if a respective benchmark dataset is available and then publish it, or we have the flexibility to publish a model without benchmarking. Let us now understand the benchmarking process in detail. Assume we had already submitted a model. The next step is to see its effectiveness. The effectiveness or efficiency of a model is defined as benchmarking, which is usually done against a standard golden dataset with an universally accepted metrics for a particular task type. For example, let us pick up a model, say Anuvad Translation English Hindi. Here, as we can see, we had already run a benchmarking using the Flores dataset, which is one of the standard benchmark dataset, against the metric BLEU. Now let's run a new benchmark run. So we click on Run Benchmark button. Since we had run the benchmarking on Flores dataset using BLEU, the option to select would be grayed out, meaning we cannot rerun a completed process for the same dataset metric combination. So let's select a different benchmarking dataset, say WMT20 dataset, and select the metric BLEU. Let's submit it now. The benchmarking process starts in the background and the status should be changed from in progress to completed once it's done. Now we have completed a few benchmark runs against this model and we can see their respective BLEU scores. Since we are happy with the results, let's go ahead and publish this model. Okay, now that we have published the model, it would now be visible to all. Let's check the Explore Model tab. Let us search for English Hindi and select the model. If we scroll down, we can see all the benchmark runs along with their respective scores. Now that we have completed benchmarking runs for different models against different datasets and metrics, the final section would be to cover the leaderboard, wherein we can have a view of top performing models against a specific dataset and metric. For that, let's jump into the Benchmark Dataset tab and select any benchmark dataset, say Flores English Hindi. Now we can see all the models that were run against this dataset grouped by the metric, and we see that they are ranked based on their respective scores. With this, we have seen how to contribute a model to Ulka and also how to perform benchmarking against these. More features are coming in, so please stay tuned.